Pakistan's federal and provincial governments are preparing for another major increase in petrol and diesel prices as authorities move to pass on part the rising cost of imported fuels to consumers. The decision emerged after a high-level meeting chaired by Finance Minister Mohammad Aurangzeb, which brought together federal officials and the chief ministers of all 4 provinces. Officials say the government can no longer fully absorb the cost of rising global prices. According to estimates discussed in the meeting, the current price gap stands at about 100 rupees per litre for petrol and more than 200 rupees per litre for diesel, compared with the actual landed cost of the imports. So far, the federal government has spent around 129 billion rupees in subsidies over the past 3 weeks. Officials say the figures could rise to about 158 billion rupees before the end of the current support program. Authorities are also considering partial or even pass-through of international fuel prices, though the exact increase will depend on the next price review by the Petroleum Division and Oil Gas Regulatory Authority. At the same time, the government plans to introduce targeted subsidies for certain sectors. Motorcyclists and 3-wheelers, who form a large part of Pakistan's daily commuters, are expected to receive a subsidized petrol through a ration system with a nationwide framework likely to be announced soon. Farmers may also receive diesel subsidies through a provincial database, including Sindh's Hari Card program, with Punjab and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa expected to adopt similar mechanisms. Officials say targeted subsidies could cost around 15 and 18 billion rupees every week and potentially as much as 30 billion weekly if global prices remain elevated. The financial burden will now be shared between the federal government and the provinces after months of negotiation over how to manage the economic fallout from the global energy crisis. Punjab and Sindh had earlier argued for fully passing on international price increase to consumers while offering direct support only to vulnerable groups. However, the officials warned that a sudden full price hike could be politically and economically destabilizing, especially amid already high inflation. Meanwhile, provinces have also agreed not to increase fares on bus rapid transit systems, though officials warn that this could create disparities between residents of major cities and people living in other areas. The discussion comes as Pakistan, like many countries, is grappling with the wider economic consequences of the Middle East conflict. The ongoing war has disrupted energy supply chains and shipping routes, driving up global fuel prices and putting additional pressure on countries that rely heavily on imported oil. For Pakistan, where fuel costs directly influence transport, food prices and inflation, the coming price decisions could have significant economic and political implications in the weeks ahead.